Jim Davidson says Sadiq Khan failed London, then blames Starmer for backing him. You're not going to believe what Jim Davidson just said. In a moment that stunned both supporters and critics alike, the outspoken comedian-turned-commentator didn't just take aim at Sadiq Khan. He took the gloves off and dragged Keir Starmer into the fire with him. Because according to Davidson, London isn't just struggling, it's falling apart. And in his words, Sadiq Khan's the driver, but Keir Starmer's the one who gave him the keys. Let's break down what happened, and why it's sending shockwaves through political circles right now. It all went down during a heated segment on Davidson's online channel, the kind of broadcast where he doesn't hold back. Davidson launched straight into a blistering critique of Sadiq Khan's leadership of London. He listed off a series of concerns. Surging knife crime, rampant drug use on the streets, small businesses shutting their doors, and growing fears among working-class Londoners that their city no longer feels safe or even recognizable. "Look around," Davidson said, shaking his head. "This used to be the greatest city in the world. And now, people are afraid to walk home. And what does Khan say? That everything's fine." But it didn't stop there. Because in the very next breath he went for Keir Starmer. "You want to know who's backing this?" he asked viewers. "Keir Starmer. Labour's golden boy. He's the one standing behind Sadiq Khan while London burns." And that's when things got political fast. Davidson accused Starmer of turning a blind eye to London's decline, simply because Khan represents a key Labour stronghold. They'd rather protect their power base, he said, than protect the people living in it. And for many viewers, it hit a nerve. Because here's the thing, Davidson might be controversial, but he's not alone in this criticism. In fact, more and more voices from frustrated Londoners to disillusioned Labour voters are starting to ask the same questions. What has really improved under Sadiq Khan's leadership? And why is Keir Starmer staying so quiet about it? Let's look at the numbers. According to recent Metropolitan Police data, knife-related offences in London have increased by nearly 20% in the last year. Meanwhile, confidence in the mayor's handling of crime has dropped significantly, especially among outer London boroughs where violent incidents are on the rise. Small business groups have also reported higher rates of theft, vandalism, and antisocial behaviour, pushing some local shops to shut down completely. So when Davidson says, "London's being failed," he's tapping into a growing mood. And when he blames Starmer for backing it, that's where it gets explosive. One former Labour advisor, speaking anonymously to a political blog, said, "There's a lot of nervousness inside the party. They know London is cracking under pressure, but they also know they can't throw Khan under the bus before the general election." Another commentator tweeted, "Jim Davidson's no politician, but he's saying what millions of Londoners feel. Starmer needs to respond or risk losing the capital at the grassroots." And it's not just voters feeling the disconnect. Some Labour councillors in key London districts have privately admitted they're struggling to keep their communities on side. "We hear it every day on the doorstep," one said. "People say they don't feel safe. They don't feel heard. And they don't think Labour's going to do anything about it." Now let's be clear. Keir Starmer has made general statements about wanting safer communities and stronger policing. But when it comes to direct criticism of Khan's leadership, he's been quiet. Very quiet. And that silence is starting to look strategic. Because from a political point of view, backing Khan helps hold the London vote. But from a moral point of view, people are asking at what cost? Davidson didn't mince words. Starmer could speak out. He could challenge this. But he won't. Because he cares more about Labour looking united than about London looking like London again. And whether you agree or disagree with him, that statement is cutting through. Social media's ablaze. One viewer commented, "Jim Davidson just said what every working-class Londoner has been screaming into the void for the past 5 years." Another wrote, "You don't have to like Jim, but you can't deny what's happening out there. London feels broken." And perhaps the most chilling post, "If this is Labour's idea of leadership, what happens when they run the whole country?" So where does this leave things? Khan remains defiant. Starmer remains silent. Davidson, louder than ever. And the public, they're watching. Because this isn't just about political parties or media narratives. It's about who's actually standing up when a city starts to fall apart. Jim Davidson lit the match, but it's the silence from Labour's leadership that's fanning the flames. The question now is simple. Will Starmer finally say something, or just hope voters stop noticing? Because the longer he waits, the louder the anger gets. And what happens next might not just change London. It could shake the entire country.